So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Early Care Connection. I'm Izzy Greenberg. Today we have our residence panel of experts, Meryl Gay from the Connecticut Early Childhood Alliance, Ava Bermuda Zimmerman from Child Care for CT, and joining us is our favorite, Liz Fraser from LISC. And of course, everyone sees her as one of our panel of experts as well all the time, but today she is here for a special presentation. So just a reminder that everyone should use the chat for questions for the community, technical difficulties, but any question for our panelists today should go in the Q&A. And then just a reminder to everyone to speak slowly for interpretation. Okay, so Liz, welcome. She is here. She's the program officer for LISC. It's Local Initiative Support Council.
Corporation.
Corporation, thank you. And she is working on the Early Childhood Facilities Construction and Renovation Grant Program. And so we have a lot to cover this morning. It shouldn't take this won't be a very long presentation, but we will have room for Q&A at the end. Please try to put your Q&A in the Q&A though. We have a few other folks here joining from LISC, but they're a little bit behind the scenes, maybe answering questions in the Q&A if you have them. So if you see a few other names pop up as answering questions, that is why. So welcome everyone. Of course, welcome Liz. I will turn it over to you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's really nice to be here again. It's too long, and I wish I could join every Monday, but as my staff knows, as the LISC staff knows, it gets pretty busy where we are, and we rarely have an hour and a half to dedicate every week. So we're happy to see you again.
1 second, Ava, I think interpretation may be muted. If you could please make sure to turn that on. So sorry.
That's okay.
Oh wait, okay, perfect.
You can hear me now? And okay. Just saying to everybody, so glad that I'm here today with all of you. What I'm going to be talking about today is the newest grant program that's coming out. And I'll tell you a little bit about the last program and where we are. And Kadeem and Maxiel are here with me. And Kadeem, if you could get the report, the online report ready, and we can put that in the chat as well. For this last grant round, as many of you know, and maybe many of you participated, LISC managed 125 facilities projects across the state with $13 million. And we are going to be closing those out. They're all closed out now. The grant ended, and we're just getting our final report prepared. And as we're getting our final documents ready for submission to the Office of Early Childhood, who sponsors this program, we are also working on a smaller pool of money, $5 million, to distribute for, and this is a little different. This particular pocket of money is for large scale projects. It is to tide us over until the $80 million that was put into bonding last session to coordinate with all the work that you have all been doing on the Child Care Fund. And so that as that program grows, the capacity across the state builds for both family providers and for center-based providers. Unfortunately, this particular program will not be for family providers, and you'll see why in a few minutes. It's bonding money, and it's set up very, very differently, and it would be way too difficult for family providers to be part of this. So as we're doing this program, we're working on ways we can support the family providers through technical assistance, and preparation of projects that are ready to go when the next round of grant funding is available. So we will be having more meetings about that. I talked to Adrienne, and so I'm happy to go on to one of those calls with all of you and have a more in-depth conversation with you. But today, This is about a $5 million pocket of money that will be for large scale projects, those that are over $250,000 to complete. And we're looking for those projects that might have other money attached as well. These projects will go up to $1 million for the grants. But for those $1 million grants, many of them may have other funds available. So why don't I get started on the presentation? I'll share my screen and I'll go through it step by step. Okay, share. Is my share, oh, here, no, show captions, English. Oh, here it is. Sorry, it was bright green and right in front of me. And screen 2. Okay, I'm going to go to screen 2. And I'm going to say share. Okay, can you see my screen? I'm going to turn it into a slideshow. From current slide, from beginning. Okay. Everyone can see, Izzy, you can see this? It's all good? Okay, great.
We see it, and I have also posted a link to this presentation in English and in Spanish in the chat.
Excellent. I'm going to move this over so I can read it. Hold on a second. I just need to move everybody down here. Okay. So as I just mentioned, this particular grant program is designed for both centers and families, but this is a small pool of money allowing us to put some grants out as we prepare for a larger sum of $80 million that will be distributed over 7 years. And what we want to be able to do is to start preparing programs for that money. But this specific pot of money is very, very structured for larger projects, and you'll see why. So LISC Connecticut is part of LISC National, which is actually a community nonprofit bank. It's a large CDFI, Community Development Finance Initiative, a community bank. And we have local offices in 33 states. And then we have a large organization supporting all the back work. And that would be making grants and making loans for housing developments, for early childhood, for family opportunity centers and such. So that is what we do all across the state. Together with residents and communities, we forge resilient, inclusive communities of opportunity across America. Great places to live, work, visit, do business, and raise families. This is our Connecticut team. We also work with national early childhood people who have a lot of expertise. So Maxielle, Kadeem, and Liz, we all work together on this. And Casey as well does a lot of the back work with LISC National and with the Office of Early Childhood. So this new grant round is funded through bond dollars, and it was approved and released by the governor in 2024. And as I said, it is not the 80 million that will become available in the future. But we have this opportunity to use this round of funding to demonstrate how bond fundings work. It's like a pilot almost to make sure that we get it right and what we can do to make it easier for people going forward. And so that more of you can utilize this program and benefit from it. We also know, hold on, I've just got to move some people so I can read my notes here. We want to make sure that people will not be left out of the future rounds. So this will give us the data we need to make that early 80 million more accessible. And for that, we might need help from you all as well, because it's always, as you know, advocacy that helps to move things forward. All right, so this is $5.1 million to distribute. It is different from ARPA funding and comes with many restrictions. The new grant program will be funded by funds passed through the Office of Early Childhood from the State Bonding Commission, a new set of requirements, new eligibility standards, and advanced technical assistance will be required to receive a grant in this round of funding. So receipt of this grant funding will be contingent upon the ability to place a 10-year lien on the property where the child care facility project will take place. We know that this is prohibitive for family programs and for those centers who are renting. Reimbursement payments, not beneficiary status. In our last round, we were able to give funds up front, and then the providers were obligated, the grantees were obligated to pay that out as they stated in a financial document they would send in for every disbursement. So we had a budget. They were supposed to spend it exactly as the budget said with that money, but we allowed them to have it in their pocket because many don't have that capital to pay those first payments or the larger payments if they're a little bit over. Okay, so the other, that also means that some grantees will need to have adequate financials or money put aside for this project, or they might need to find a bridge loan to help them, which we're looking into ways to help with as well at LISC, since that's what we do. We are looking for avenues for bridge loans for people who need them. Also, the utilization of prevailing wage hiring practices. This just recently changed to project costs for over $1 million, but we're waiting for verification. It was projects over $50,000 needed prevailing wage, or maybe it was 100, but it was a smaller amount. We heard and were understood that it goes up to $1 million now through recent legislation, but we're still trying to make sure that's so. So the Davis-Bacon may be in place, not Davis-Bacon prevailing wage may be in place, but we believe that it will only be on projects over $1 million right now. Every project will have a construction monitor that will be paid for through the grant money to ensure that all the appropriate bonding requirements are being followed, including the liens being placed, disbursements appropriately distributed. And the last thing is, because we only have, again, 2 years for this project, maybe 3 or 2.5, but by the time the money comes through, it's like 2 years. The projects really need to be shovel ready, and we'll get into what that explains as well. So the priorities are designed for larger center-based projects. The awards will range from $250,000 to $1 million. Only 8 to 10 grants will be available. The priority of increasing infant and toddler capacity in areas of high need and or early care deserts. And we will be using tools that the OEC has for this particular round, and seeing, and they're a little bit more updated than our last round. So we'll see how that works. And we're also looking to increase preschool capacity in preschool deserts. None of these are going to be renovation only projects or playgrounds. All of these projects will be in capacity increases. You'll have to be increasing capacity. Okay. Preference may be given on the following measurable criteria. And that will be, this is what this project is going to be assessed on: level to which the projects improve access to early care and education in underserved communities, increasing, and which includes increasing health and safety, but it is also mandatory that it increases infant and toddler care or preschool in areas defined as a childcare desert. We're also looking at the level to which applicants demonstrate their commitment to serving families with public subsidies. We understand that like Care for Kids is difficult right now, but with families that qualify for public subsidies. And we're also looking at the level to which the project is shovel ready. An eligible organization will be a center-based project located in Connecticut. We will be, at the time of application, they are either providing or have an intention to provide care and education for low and moderate income families with public subsidy, or or that qualify for public subsidy, or a developer that is partnered with or is committed to partnering with a child care provider who has demonstrated a commitment to provide early care and education. So this is also open to developers that are using space in different ways. So they might have a housing development and they're planning on putting a child care center in that development. They may have, some sort of build that they're doing with some sort of, I don't know, I'm making this up, at a strip mall, or maybe it's a senior housing facility. Maybe it's something like, a community center that will have childcare. That's fine to have a bigger project. This will give $1 million to go towards the cost of the childcare there, the center-based childcare. And the operator, they must have an operator in place though, and the operator must be in good standing with the state of Connecticut and the Office of Early Child Care Licensing Department. A facility will be a building, structure, or site that is owned, leased, or used by one or more eligible organizations and licensed or will be licensed by the Office of Early Childhood after it's finished. The leased facility will have to have a lease term of no less than 10 years, including options. That is because that matches the lien requirement. That's actually protecting the provider so that the lien isn't there, but the rent goes so far up you can't afford to be there, and it's brand new space and it can be rented out for more. So we're making sure that the lease matches that 10-year lien. The lien requirement is required, and it must be filed in favor of the state of Connecticut to protect the state's investment. And applicants must either own the property outright to be able to file the lien and have the legal authority written approval from the property owner, the landlord, to file the lien. They can't be eligible. This is a bonding requirement that they have a lien. So they're not eligible unless a lien can be placed on that property. We understand that is difficult for many of you, and we are sorry about that. But right now, that is how it is. And we're looking at other ways we might be able to work with this for future funding. It can also be a privately or non-profit funded program, either one. It can operate in a public school district building or a publicly owned facility, but the districts are not eligible for this funding. In other words, they can't put a school district project in. There are other sources of funding for this. So if it happens to be like the town hall, or if it happens to be a section of a school, but it's a privately owned or community-based program, that's fine. It just can't be part of the public school district because there's other funding for those programs. It has to be the construction, renovation, rehabilitation, or development must be, of course, an eligible center-based facility and intended to increase capacity. And shovel-ready, what does that mean? All preliminary site planning, architectural design, permitting, zoning requirements must be in progress before receiving a grant. So examples include site control, evidence that you either own or have a lease with the landlord for a particular building, that environmental testing that's needed has been completed, architectural plans have initial approvals, permits have either been applied for or they are in progress. I wouldn't say in place, that would be difficult, but some may be in place, some might be in progress, or at least information on permitting and zoning has been looked into. Contractors have been vetted and project budgets are finalized or close to being finalized. So shovel ready is really difficult to be in, as you can tell. So many of you have a project in mind, but don't have any of this in place. We have something for you too. We're going to be providing a lot of technical assistance on how to prepare, and I can get into that at the end as well. and this is just goes into site control. It will be in the clips. It will be in the, this will be available for you to look at. But again, ownership, you need to hold the deed to the property or a long-term lease, 10 years, and you have the ability to make the reservations and the approvals from the property owner, or a purchase and sale agreement, and you're under contract with a clear closing timeline to buy the property. We have to have those things in place. Prevailing wage compliance. Again, there may be some projects subject to prevailing wage requirements, but we are doing the best we can with that. Hopefully the $1 million is the right amount, but it may be that prevailing wage requirements are for lower price projects as well. That just means that the contractors have to be paying the comparable wages as determined by the DOL, Department of Labor, and that they have to engage in certain benefits and all for their workers. There's a process also for vetting them that the providers would have to go through, the people with the grant, and we will make that available as we know more. Reimbursement model. I spoke about this a little bit. The plan for covering grant funded expenses up front while waiting for reimbursement. You have to have a demonstrated ability to manage cash flow and to cover project expenses before reimbursement. Access to working capital, like a business reserve, a line of credit, bridge financing, or a partner support. You might have money put aside, but we will need evidence of money put aside for that, or a way to get some sort of bridge financing for those payments. You will have to pay the contractor, and then you will receive the money, and that money can pay for the next round of funding, or you may need a little bit more bridge funding depending on the payment schedule. And again, grantees will have much more information on how that works, as will, we can also answer questions about that. Funds spent on the grant-funded project after the date of execution of the LISC grant agreement shall be eligible for reimbursement. As you know, LISC grants take a little while to go out. Let's just pretend that that we have grant agreements that are actually sent to people in March or April, but we can predate it to a certain date, maybe February 1st or January 1st, to cover some of the costs that maybe folks have been putting into their projects to get it ready. But we can't guarantee that for everybody. So, but there are a lot of projects we understand that are close to being ready anyway. And this is how the reimbursement process works. The contractor invoices the grantee based on a work payment schedule. A construction monitor reviews the work being invoiced prior to payment and provides written approval that the invoice accurately reflects the work completed. The grantee pays the contractor, submits the documentation to LISC for reimbursement, and then we process the request, which can take 10 to 15 business days. Although Kadeem had a really good relationship with them, and we got it down to what, 7 to 10 maybe, Kadeem?
Sure.
Yeah. So we work hard to have it a little bit less time than 10 to 15 days. Grantees must retain all grant-related documentation and keep it in their files, just like a tax return. This is how this timeline will work. There'll be initial webinars now and outreach through November 7th. We'll be doing a few more of these, so you can join in. We'll put them on the listserv so that you know when they'll be. We will have frequently asked questions. So any questions you have, we will put on the website, and we will post. As soon as this webinar is over, we will start putting the eligibility survey out, and I'll explain that in a moment. I just want you to know that, as you might have heard on the news, a lot of systems are out, and one of them is the platform we're using for the eligibility survey. This survey is very important because even if you are not eligible, if you fill it out because you want to do a project, we are collecting that and looking at the data in that to see what people need to prepare for that next $80 million and to provide a pipeline of programs ready to go in these next rounds. That is our intent. So if you fill out the survey, even if you're a family provider, we put in a place for family providers to show what they need. And this will do two things. As I said, it will help us to decide what we can provide for everybody as we're doing this grant. As we're doing this, we will provide other opportunities for people to learn what they need for to do a grant, to put it together, to get a project going, how to work with a contractor, how to work with an architect, all of those things that we just don't know because we're early childhood folks and not necessarily in the construction business. So through November 7th, we'll be doing that. November 10th to December 12th, approximately, remember these are approximate, we will have a pre-application for eligible projects. If you're eligible, you will receive a note saying at the end of the survey saying you're eligible. If you're not eligible at a certain point in the eligibility survey, you'll know that, but you can put your information in with that survey information so that we know what you want to do. It gives us some more information on what you want to do. We're going to only choose up to 50 programs then to go forward. And those 50 programs will have the opportunity to do the full application and receive technical assistance. They will have to go through a process. They'll have to have a site visit. They'll have to, there's a list of things. But the final applications and all of that technical assistance will be done by March 20th. And then the advisory committee will select 8 to 10 projects, and they will receive then the technical assistance to complete the projects. And we're hoping to also have technical assistance going forward for folks that's available all the time, available for folks who want to learn how to get a project going. So we will put this on the listserv. We will put FAQs on our website. And Kadeem, if you could in the chat, put in, first of all, put in, I think, our website. It won't be on there until this afternoon because, as I said, we have some technical issues. So maybe tomorrow, look on the website. Everything will be there that you need. And I'll also send it to, I'll put it on the listserv. And Izzy, if you could put it on this site too with the PowerPoint, that would be great, or Ava or whomever does it. And then we'll have that information for you. The eligibility survey is short. It's like 6 questions. And everybody who wants to do a project in the future should put their name on it. So we have an updated list of who is interested and what type of project they might want to be doing. And the technical assistance that they might need. Is there anything else to say about that survey, Kadeem, that I'm forgetting? Since you wrote it.
No, not at the moment. I think you covered everything.
Okay, great. We're really trying to make it okay that this grant only has 8 to 10 opportunities, and that a lot of you want to start a project but don't have the resources to start it and need some help in getting going. So the other thing I should tell you is that women's business development projects, since this is all centers, they will be doing a lot of the technical assistance with centers from the pre-application right through when folks are selected, until folks are being selected by the advisory. Again, being close to ready is really important. And I'm looking to see in my notes if there's anything else. Yeah, okay. I think that that's about it. And then technical assistance, WBDC will be providing that. We're looking into developing training courses and doing some things. We'll have office hours and webinars also, and open communications. We want to really make sure that this program isn't just limited to 5 to 10 each time, but eventually we can open it up and have families included and different types of programs. We're thinking different types of programs, maybe some who just need renovations. They don't need to increase capacity, but their buildings are in need of repair or additional furniture and fixtures and equipment, or just changing preschool to infant toddler, that sort of thing. So we're looking for all sorts of ways we can help you, and questions. We can do questions now, and I'll just stop sharing if I can find my stop share.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's start with, there's one here. We're going back because this was the first one that came in, but
somebody said all those pictures were the projects we just did. All those pictures were the projects we just finished. So
yeah, we got it. That's my playground.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so what's the website? Somebody's asking that in the chat. So if you guys could put that.
Yeah. And also the other thing that we can put in the chat too, Kadeem, if you can, is our report. We did an extensive report and had it published in May, and we had an event up at the Capitol. And if you're interested in what we found with this project that we were working on, some of the takeaways, what the survey said that many of you might have participated in, and what you needed to have happen, those were all so helpful, and it's all documented in the report, including the whole issues surrounding early care and education, and how construction and facilities fit into that whole picture, because we consider this just a part of what you all have been doing.
Great. Okay, reminder to everyone that questions need to go in the Q&A if you want them answered. If they're in the chat, they may not be answered. Okay, so Liz, the first question that came in was right when you started. I don't think you answered it, so I'm going to go back to it, which was, why was ARPA only open to state-funded programs, and what grants will be available for programs that are not state-funded? And I know it's only sort of
ARPA funding
wanted to get that done.
Yeah, the ARPA funding was available for all programs, not just state-funded programs. Any program could have applied. We were pretty clear about that. Yeah, so we were pretty clear about that. We had a lot of programs that did not have state-funded slots that received grants. What they had to be doing, though, was supporting children in need in areas that had high needs, that they didn't have enough care, as demonstrated through Social Vulnerability Index and Care for Kids attendance.
Great.
The survey will, Kadeem, are you typing that answer in for the survey? How will this survey, this Tashiano, be sent out to everyone?
Yes. Yeah, I'm typing a response now. Yes.
All right. Will the next grants or facilities compensate for the 5 million now only? Let's see. I think it's only open to centers. So FCC will receive the next round of facilities at a higher percentage. Will there be any compensation, I think, for family? In that they're not included in this one.
Yes, that was a huge concern that we have been worried about for quite a while now. We want the families, they are a part, you are all a part, an integral part of the infrastructure of early care. And we know that there's high need out there, but this is bonding money, and there's very little leeway in it right now. I will tell you that we're working with some legislators that are very interested in making this money more available. One of the first things that they have done is said that projects under $50,000 will not need to have a lien on their property. So we've gotten that far. However, I think it still will be hard for those who rent, which is maybe half of you, to have your landlord put a 10-year lien on their home, on their property, so which is your home. So that will be onerous for some. So we're trying to work on ways to make this better. And we're also looking at ways to make it easier for family providers who had hard times. Some of them we noticed with contractors that were not always as honest as they could have been. And for folks who really weren't sure what to do when the contractor was not as easy to work with as they thought. So what excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm a little hoarse today. So what we're looking to do then is to use this time to solve some of these issues. We're going to be working with a small working group of our advisory committee in the early part of the year to really come up with some solutions. And if we need legislation, we'll let you know, and you guys can advocate for what you need. We'll tell you what we're trying to do. And I'm happy to work with the union folks and anyone who would like to, like us to come and talk about this and share information and where we're going. Our first job is to get this money out the door and to go through these steps, and then, but know that we're really concerned about this and we're trying to find solutions to this so that you can all be part of it.
There are a few questions in the Q&A that I think are just like, can you put in a website, those kinds of things. I don't know if Kadeem and Maxia, you guys could put those in.
Yeah,
I would just,
we'll update the FAQs on the website after this meeting with some of these questions, or most of them even.
Yeah, I think they're just asking for the link to be put in.
the
Oh,
link
it's in
needs,
the chat. I can read.
just keep putting it in every few
I
minutes
know people,
because
and I'm sorry, people do join, they join, they leave,
After,
they join, they leave,
gotcha.
because there a lot of folks are with children right now. And so then it clears out your chat, it clears out everything. So apologies, but that's the way of this.
Yeah, I'll just keep
So,
posting that message every few minutes or so.
yeah, and you could answer it in the Q&A, and then I think it will stay there as well.
Okay, perfect.
That's perfect. Thank you. Okay, so there's
somebody said in regard to my response, according to Jen Jones, I don't know who Jen Jones is. It was not available to my center, only state funded. No, that was not true. That was a misinformation that you were given.
Yeah, that happens. Okay, when, all right, so if approved, what is the date or the month that the funds will begin to be released?
Anyone who knows LISC, this is another thing to understand, which Kadeem and Maxiel and I learned the hard way, that the LISC is a great organization. It does a lot, but it's like a bank. And you know how mortgages can take a very long time to go through. Well, these are even longer to go through. It's almost like they're going through a whole loan process. So it will take a while. However, we're hoping that money would be out the door in May.
Okay, thank you. And this round doesn't include family daycare, but do you, I'm sorry, just for
yes,
posterity here, do you know when the next round will be coming out? That might?
So that depends on when. This is what happens with bond money. There's $80 million that is designated to be released, which means the governor has to agree to it over the next 7 years. And because we have this little bit of money now, it would be sometime next year that it would start to be released if that is what the governor chooses. Okay. So that is the first thing. Once it's released, there needs to be a contract. I don't know if LISC will have that contract or not at this point. We have this one, we had the last one, but we will see. And then a contract has to be negotiated and signed. That can take months as well. So I'm not sure when the next round will be, but I will keep everybody posted. It just does take a long time to get the processes going.
Okay, thank you. Alba asked for a link in Spanish, but Alba, can you be more specific about which link you're looking for? If you want the presentation, I can share that again. if you're looking for something different, please let me know, and then we'll post that.
And I think the funds would need to be spent by early 2028, if I'm not, wait a second, maybe it's 27. I've got to think about it. 26, they'll be getting it to 27, I think in 2028,
Okay,
early 2028, perhaps.
great. All right, we've got just a couple questions left. We're going to try to wrap up in about 5 minutes. If we are seeking to expand and open a new site on a childcare desert location, the land is built up, will there be an option to consider, will this be an option to consider even if you were awarded by LISC with a small project before? I think they're looking to do a bigger project.
Right. We asked the Office of Early Childhood that question, and we were told everyone is eligible to apply, and everyone will go through the same process.
Right, thank you. And if you were approved in the first round, can you apply again in this round?
Yes. Okay. That was what they did. We asked that question.
Yeah, that's the same question. Since becoming shovel ready is likely costly, can contractors and architects, let's see, what can contractors and architects do or help with that work on contingency?
I'm not sure I understand that.
Like essentially, since like because for them to get shovel ready is gonna have
I see.
Like, can the contractors do that work upon contingency, knowing they will receive this grant?
I would not. That's a risk, to tell you the truth. Yeah. There's 8 to 10 grants, and there'll be 50 finalists for 8 to 10 grants. It's not very many that will be getting it, and what we expect is there will be a lot of ready projects in a pipeline ready for the next round. That's what we're looking to do, is start building a pipeline of programs that are ready to go, so that you don't have all the stopping and starting in the beginning processes. If anyone has done one of these projects, it can take 6 months to get permits, or 8 months. Some of our projects, we're not getting their permits till this year, and they had to finish by June. Actually, they had to finish before then. We had to have it extended because they just were not getting permits. It's a long process. So what we're asking is that people look into that. And if you're doing a project, not think that, okay, I'm going to get the money and then do all this work. That somehow there's a little bit of pre-work that folks do.
Yeah. And
maybe that would be part of the technical assistance we would offer on what needs to get done. Maybe if there are, loans, or how to use your money appropriately for this. What are some of the pitfalls and things to watch out for? Don't be giving all your money up front, which we had some folks do, which turned out to be a disaster. We told folks only give them what they were obligate, the payments in a payment schedule. But
this is how
anyway,
these are the lessons learned, right? As you move into
they're in the report. There's a lot of lessons learned.
Yeah, so I think if folks should look at that report also before you consider applying for this next round as well.
And the online report, it's the online one that you did, right, Kadeem, not the other one? Yeah. The online report is interactive. You don't have to read through the whole thing. You can jump around in it. It's not, so
yeah,
it works, and it's pretty well done. You can do it on a phone too.
So we are going to, there's 2 questions, well, 1 question left. If the operator provider is working with the developer who owns the property, who should complete the survey, the provider or the developer?
Oh gosh. All right. I know we answer. I think it's, God, no, I can't remember the answer to this in case he's not here. We went back and forth on this. I think the provider can do that, but I think that let's put that in the frequently asked questions and we went back and forth on who should do that. It can be either one that can do it. It has avenues for both to do it. It's just that I would say, either one can do it at this point because there are avenues.
Great. And so there's also a request for a list of preferred contractors. So if that's
There
people
will be a
in the
list
FAQ
of
as well.
preferred contractors. We're putting the RFP out, and by the time you get to that point, there will be a list of preferred contractors. We also took contractors that did really good work in this first round to put on that list.
Okay, I think that's it. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, team. Appreciate you all.
Okay, listen, I'm so sorry that Smart Sheets is down, and we will have it up tomorrow and we'll get it to you. So thank you so much for indulging us, and thank you for being so kind. I know that this is disappointing for many people, and we're just doing our best to make sure we offer something for folks who feel left out of this particular round.
Great. Thanks again, Liz, and wonderful to see
Bye,
you.
everybody.
All right. We've got 2 announcements before folks jump off. We've got Miss Mia, who wants to tell you guys about a program for providers that is happening. So Mia, you're welcome to join.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Oh, okay. Good morning, everyone. So we're Childcare Whisperer, Mr. Ty. He comes from Atlanta, Georgia. I met him 2 years ago in Texas. He brings a lot of energy. He brings empowerment. He brings motivation to classrooms, to childcare centers, family daycare centers, everything that has to do with children. And he's coming this Saturday, the 25th, to Hamden. And from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock lunch will be served. We have another guest speaker who's going to speak about children and behaviors with autism. And we have raffles, we have prizes. This is part of Team Circle, a Team Circle event. And if you are interested, you can go to Eventbrite and look up the information. No. My daughter's saying no. Eventbrite closes today. But if you're interested and you find the flyer, I think Eva has a flyer, she'll post it. There's a phone number at the bottom. You can call either phone number and we'll give you information. And I think today closes ticket sales and we will be selling at the door.
Mia, I think that what I'd recommend is that you put in the Eventbrite into the chat, so anybody who wants to look at it now can do that if it's still open for today. So
Is it? No, it's closed for today is the 20th. It closed yesterday for
okay.
Eventbrite. But
So
if you go, when you guys post a flyer, the information and phone numbers are right at the bottom. If you want more information, you can call either one of the numbers.
all
Okay,
right.
the link that Ava tried to put up there didn't work.
Yeah, no, I would say, Mia, if you can put the phone numbers in, that way we make sure that it's the right one. I think that would be best if you can put it in the chat. Because I can't copy and paste from that flyer because it's a PDF. So if you can put those phone numbers in the chat, that way people can get in touch.
All right, let's see if I can do it.
Post the flyer if you can. And we did put it up on the ECE listserv. So it's
all righty. Thank you guys. Hope to see you there.
Great. Okay, thank you. Kristen Eno, go ahead. You are up with one more announcement.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Thank you so much for inviting me today. I just wanted to announce that I'm Kristen. I'm based in the New Haven area, and I wanted to announce the opening of the Materials Kitchen at the Ely Center of Contemporary Art in New Haven on Trumbull Street near Whitney. It's a magical place. We're collecting repurposed materials for reuse in early childhood classrooms, or really for anyone in the arts community or in education. We don't discriminate. You can shop for free. The donations are collected and sorted beautifully. And many of you may have shopped at EcoWorks, where you do have to spend money to get materials, but we're offering this for free. Ely Center is a nonprofit. This Materials Kitchen is a project. It's sort of a labor of love that I created over the summer, which will move with the Ely Center when they move in December. They're going to relocate. So before they relocate, we have a couple of shopping hours. And I just wanted to say a couple more things about the inspiration for it. Many of you know about Ramita in Reggio Emilia. That is a repurposing center, a huge one that has been an inspiration to many. There are also centers all over the world. And I worked in one in Manhattan in New York City for a few years, and it's called Teaching Beyond the Squares Materials Center. It's on 16th Street near Union Square. And so I'm coming to this work with that experience, sort of fueling it, and also 20 years in the classroom with children. And so before I tell you the open hours, I'll say that I also received a grant from Circle in the city of New Haven. So I wanted to announce that I am available for free professional development. The only stipulation is that this grant is funding New Haven preschools. So if your center is in New Haven, feel free to contact me. And maybe you want to let me know the best way to put my contact. Would you like me to put it in the chat or?
Yes.
Okay, great. Will do. And so I'll put my email in the chat and my website. The website is going to tell you dates that are coming up. So it would be a way to sign up for either a cohort where you have 3 more evenings of free PD and dinner with various other, educators from all over. We've got different teachers have been coming from Friends Center and Neighborhood Music School and several others. We're meeting 4 Thursdays between now and December. I can also come to your center. So I'll give you that information. And finally, our hours that the Materials Kitchen, because it's actually located in an upstairs kitchen, which is really fun. So I welcome you to come and see it, whether or not you want to shop for materials. Thursday, November 6th from 3 to 6 p.m. and it's 51 Trumbull Street. And Sunday, November 23rd from 1 to 5. And I'm doing a workshop on loose parts from 2 to 4 p.m. Thank you so much.
Hold on, did I get it wrong? Sunday, November 23rd, you said 1 to 5, but then I think you said 2 to the,
Yes,
the workshop is at what time?
Shopping from 1 to 5, and we'll do stuff with
What time
the
is the workshop
from 2 to 4.
Okay, I got that. I think I got everything in the chat. If I missed anything, please augment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Again,
I can't share the images that you sent. It's hard to, you can't put those in the chat, unfortunately. But if you have any website or anything like that,
I'll do that right now.
Beyond
Sounds
this,
good.
you can pop that in.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks so much. Good luck. Okay, I guess that's it, folks. We, as I said, we are doing our best to get these down to 1 hour always and not go over. So 10:25, I'm going to pat us a little bit on the back. I'm sorry if you heard my dogs in the background. They're restless today. And I think that's it. Meryl, do you have anything else you want to jump in with?
Next week, we'll have an update on what's going on with the federal funding for CACFP and other programs that may be getting close to running out of money November 1st.
Yes. All right. Well, somebody said happy motivating Monday. That wasn't motivating, but but the rest of it is. Going to shop for materials sounds really motivating to me personally. Ava, go ahead. Do you want me to, let's see, Ava, you got to go into the English feed. Yep. Hold on 1 second, Ava. If you are not hearing Ava, it's because you have not clicked interpretation and chosen the English feed. So please do that now. Okay, sounds good. Go ahead.
Disculpa para las personas que no me pueden escuchar. Me estaba hablando en inglés, pero te traduzco. So sorry, everyone, if you didn't hear me. I just wanted to share really quickly the photos. We rented a whole arcade. The kids you see in the photos are kids that I personally know and we got permission. So do not freak out that we're showing this in live time, photos of children. But I just wanted to share and say thank you again. This event was a celebration of all of you, of getting us here and having a blast together. And I just wanted to thank you all for just being such amazing leaders, getting us to a place where we can have a victory. And I feel full, my cup feels full, my heart feels full, and it was just a great day. And I wanted to share that with you all. And for those who couldn't make it, we had you in our hearts. So quería decir a todo el mundo que mi corazón está lleno, está tan animada que ustedes están presentes. Quería decir otras gracias hacia you para hacer este día posible, también el CT Project, 32BJ, y quería decir que el día fue fenomenal. Las niños tenían mucho diversión y los los niños en el foto son niños que teníamos autorización para autorizados los padres para tomar fotos de ellos, pero quería decir mis gracias. Izzy, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, there's no more interpretation. So just going to say that's it for today. Have a wonderful week. We will be updating the website calendar, I think is updated now. And obviously, as always, the announcements will be going out next week. We have a couple of calls coming up. I think we may be off for some fall holidays, but I can't remember which one. So I'll give a calendar next week. All right, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Gracias a todos. La próxima semana vamos a tener una llamada de las actualizaciones federales. Espero verte. Vamos a tener información en el calendario. Hay un par de feriados que están aproximando y te dejamos saber en nuestro calendario. Gracias a todo el mundo y que tengan bonito día.
Gracias. Chao.